Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Unlike my other videos, today you are going to learn the 6 basic fears from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The 6 basic fears by Napoleon Hill. There are 6 basic fears with a combination of which every human suffers at one time or another. Number 1, the fear of poverty. Number 2, the fear of criticism. Number 3, the fear of ill health. Number 4, the fear of loss of love of someone. Number 5, the fear of old age. And number 6, the fear of death. Fears are nothing more than a state of mind. Physicians are less subject to attack by disease than ordinary laymen because physicians do not fear for disease. Without fear or hesitation, they have been known to physically contact hundreds of people daily who suffers from such contagious disease without becoming infected. Number 1, the fear of poverty. There can be no compromise between poor and riches. The two roads that leads to poverty and riches travel in opposite directions. If you want riches, you must refuse to accept any circumstances that leads towards poverty. If you demand riches, determine what form and how much will be required to satisfy you. You know the road that leads to riches. You have been given a roadmap which, if followed, will keep you on that road. If you neglect to make the start or stop before you arrive, no one will be to blame but you. This responsibility is yours. Fear of poverty is a state of mind, nothing else. The only thing you can control is a state of mind. A state of mind is something that one assumes. It cannot be purchased, it must be created. The fear of poverty is, without doubt, the most destructive of the 6 basic fears. It has been placed at the head of the list because it is the most difficult to master. Considerable courage is required to state the truth about the origin of this fear, and still greater courage to accept the truth after it has been stated. The majority of people, if asked what they fear most, would reply, "I fear nothing." The reply would be inaccurate because few people realize that they are bound, handicapped, and physically through some form of fear. Let's look into the symptoms of fear of poverty: indecision, doubt, worry, overcaution, and procrastination. Number 2, the fear of criticism. The fear of criticism takes on many forms like clothing, obesity, bald head, and so forth. Criticism is the one form of service of which everyone has too much. For instance, bald-headed men are bald for no other reasons than their fear of criticism. Heads become bald because of tight-filling bands of ads which cut off the blood circulation from the roots of the hair. Men wear hats not because they actually need them, but mainly because everyone is doing it. Criticism will plant fear and resentment in the human heart. but it will not build love or affection. The fear of criticism destroys his power of imagination, limits his individuality, takes away his self-reliance, and does him damage in 100 other ways. Symptoms of fear of criticism: self-consciousness, lack of initiative, and lack of ambition. Number 3, the fear of ill health. People fear ill health because of the terrible pictures which have been planted in our mind of what may happen if death should overtake us. Powerful and mighty is the human mind. It builds or it destroys. Doctors send patients into new climates for their health because a change of mental attitude is necessary. The seed of fear of ill health lives in every human mind. Worry, fear, discouragement, and disappointment in love and business affairs cause this seed to grow. The recent business depression kept the doctors on the run because every form of negative thinking may cause ill health. Disappointed in business and in love stand at the head of the list of causes of fear of ill health. Number 4, the fear of loss of love. This fear is the most painful of all the basic fears. It probably plays more havoc with the body and mind than any of the other basic fears, as it often leads to permanent insanity. Symptoms of fear of loss of love: fault finding and gambling. Number 5, the fear of old age. The possibility of ill health, which is more common as people grow older, is also a contributing cause of this common fear of old age. The most common cause of fear of old age is associated with the possibility of poverty. Poor house is not a pretty word. It throws a chill into the mind of every person who faces the possibility of having to spend his declining years on a poor farm. Another contributing cause of fear of old age is the possibility of loss of freedom and independence, as old age may bring with it the loss of both physical and economic freedom. Number 6, the fear of death. To some, this is the cruelest of all the basic fears. The reason is obvious. The terrible pangs of fear associated with the thought of death in the majority of cases. For hundreds of millions of years, man has been asking the still unanswered questions: whence and whither? Where did I come from and where am I going? The fear of death is useless. Death will come no matter what anyone may think about it. Accept it as a necessity and pass the thought out of your mind. It may be a necessity, or it would not come to all. Perhaps it's not as bad as it has been pictured. The entire world is made up of only two things: energy and matter. Both matter and energy can be transformed, but neither can be destroyed. If death is not mere change or transition, then nothing comes after death except a long peaceful sleep. And sleep is nothing to be feared. Therefore, you may wipe out forever the fear of death. Hope you guys learned something interesting. We'll catch you up in my next video. Until then, I am Prakash, signing off. Thank you.